Somewhere in your world, there's a person who didn't expect you to matter. You weren't supposed to become significant. You were just another face in the crowd until you weren't. It started subtly. A conversation that lingered a little longer than usual. A moment of eye contact that felt unusually steady. A laugh that replayed in their mind hours later for no logical reason. Nothing dramatic, nothing obvious. Just small moments that refused to disappear. They told themselves it was coincidence, timing, boredom maybe. But what they didn't realize is that you were slowly becoming a reference point in their thoughts. When something funny happened, they wondered how you'd react. When something frustrating occurred, they imagined what you would say. Your presence began to echo in places you weren't physically standing. And that unsettled them. Not because you did anything overwhelming, but because your energy felt grounding and unpredictable at the same time. You're not loud, yet you're noticed. You don't demand attention, yet people adjust when you enter a space. There's a quiet confidence about you, not performative, not rehearsed, just natural. They've been studying you without meaning to. The way you listen when others speak. The way you pause before responding. The way people seem to relax around you. You don't compete for attention. You hold it effortlessly. At first, they tried to keep emotional distance. They convinced themselves that admiration was harmless as long as it stayed unspoken. But emotions have a way of gaining weight. What felt light became meaningful. What felt optional became important. Now there's an internal shift happening. They notice when you give your time to someone else. They notice when your focus moves elsewhere. And it creates a quiet urgency inside them. Not possessive, not controlling. Just a realization. You are not guaranteed. That awareness changes everything. Because suddenly, you're no longer just someone interesting. You're someone they don't want to miss. Someone they don't want to watch walk away without ever knowing what could have been. And here's the most compelling part. You didn't chase this. You didn't perform for it. You didn't manipulate attention to get it. Your authenticity did the work for you. While they were busy guarding their emotions, you unknowingly became the exception to their rules. There is a quiet tension that builds when something meaningful is left unspoken. Not because the feelings are weak, but because saying them out loud would change the balance of everything. Somewhere in your life, there is someone carrying that tension. What started as a simple interaction gradually became something they didn't expect. You weren't supposed to become important, but over time, your presence settled into their thoughts in a way they can't easily dismiss. They didn't fall all at once. It happened in small, almost unnoticeable moments, conversations that lingered, eye contact that felt slightly deeper than usual, the comfort of simply being around you. You were never trying to impress them, and that's exactly what made the impact stronger. Your natural confidence, the way you listen, the way you exist without forcing attention, made them feel something steady and real. That authenticity drew them in more than any performance ever could. Since then, they've replayed moments privately, wondering if you ever sensed what they were holding back. There were opportunities to speak, chances to move closer, but hesitation always stepped in. Not because they don't care, but because they care enough to fear the outcome. They know that once feelings are spoken, there's no returning to the safe space of silence. Admitting the truth would mean risking rejection, vulnerability, and the possibility that everything could shift. Meanwhile, life continues moving. They see you growing, connecting, living freely, and it creates a quiet urgency inside them. It's not dramatic jealousy. It's the awareness that you're not waiting for anyone to decide. You have options. You have direction. And if they remain silent too long, they may watch the opportunity pass without you ever knowing how deeply you were valued. Now they stand at a crossroads between comfort and courage. Silence feels safe, but it doesn't build anything. Speaking up feels risky, but it holds possibility. What they're slowly realizing is that the greater loss may not be rejection. It may be never trying at all. Even when they're surrounded by people, their attention keeps slipping away. Laughter, conversations, distractions, none of it fully anchors them because part of their mind is always elsewhere. You're there, in the quiet corners of their thoughts, unshakable. They've tried to replace that feeling, filling the space with others' company, other voices, other moments, but nothing compares. You didn't just capture their curiosity, you left a mark they can't erase. What drives this isn't surface-level attraction, it's recognition. They see something in you that doesn't exist in anyone else. Depth, presence, authenticity, qualities that can't be mimicked or copied. You're rare, and that rarity is magnetic. It makes them pay attention in ways they didn't expect. They notice the small gestures, the subtle shifts in your mood, the moments you open up and the moments you pull back. It's not control they seek, it's understanding. They want to approach you in a way that respects you, that doesn't push you away, because losing the chance to truly connect feels unbearable. Their thoughts are no longer fleeting. You occupy their mind constantly, circling back in unexpected moments, while working, walking, eating, or simply sitting in silence. Conversations with friends are often punctuated by your presence in their thoughts. They speak of you indirectly, mention you subtly, ask questions that reveal more than they intend. It's impossible to hide. And it's growing. What began as observation has turned into something larger. They're realizing that life without you feels incomplete. The idea of being with someone else no longer seems right. They don't want a substitute, only you. Fear has given way to urgency, missed opportunities, hesitations, moments of silence. They recognize now that time is moving, and so is your life. Waiting has become heavier than risk. This is the turning point. Silence is no longer safe. Watching from a distance is no longer enough. They are preparing to step forward, taking action despite the fear of rejection. It's in small gestures at first, an unexpected message, a sudden reason to talk, a compliment with weight behind it, a subtle approach designed to test the waters. But the intention is clear. They are moving out of the shadows. Because deep down, they know the truth. The regret of not trying would be far worse than any answer they might receive. And that knowledge is propelling them forward, toward the moment when hesitation finally gives way to courage. This is about someone who keeps replaying a choice they wish they could undo. Not a small slip, but a moment that haunts them quietly every day. They remember the opening, the chance that was there, the opportunity to move closer to you, to speak honestly, to show they understood how rare you were. And they didn't. They hesitated. They acted like it didn't matter. And now, what they feel is the sharp weight of realizing They let something irreplaceable slip through their hands. They carry it silently. Around others, they may seem fine, even cheerful. But inside, it's a storm. Thoughts spin in circles. What they could have said, how they should have behaved, the little ways they might have honored what you offered. The memory of that moment lingers, pulling at them even when life demands focus elsewhere. It's in their posture, their energy, the restless way they move through their day. And yet, there's something remarkable about how they feel. Despite the regret, despite the pain of what was lost, they still protect you in their heart. They don't let anyone diminish you, speak your name lightly, or twist the story. That quiet reverence shows that what they feel isn't fleeting or shallow. It's genuine, it's deep, and it doesn't fade because it can't. Time hasn't softened the impact. In fact, it has intensified it. Sleep feels fragmented, thoughts wander, focus drifts. Even mundane routines are punctuated by reminders of you, an expression they remember, a laugh that echoes in their mind, a moment that could have been theirs. And every reminder reinforces what they lost. The truth is simple. They misread the moment. They let fear, hesitation, or ego cloud their judgment. They experimented with timing, with caution, with small distractions, and it cost them. Now they see clearly what they failed to recognize then, and the clarity is relentless. It's a tension that shapes their days, a quiet ache that refuses to let go, and underneath it all is the unspoken realization. Nothing in their life feels the same without you. That sense of absence pushes them, urges them, makes the idea of doing nothing unbearable. The regret isn't just about looking back. It's about wanting a chance to step forward, to finally act with the care and courage they lacked before. They didn't see it at the time, but every careless choice, every moment of hesitation, slowly built a wall between them and what could have been, not just between themselves and you, but between who they were and who they needed to become. Now, looking back, they feel it, the weight of knowing that connection doesn't survive half measures. Real depth demands honesty, presence, and courage, things they hadn't fully learned to offer. And so something inside them is shifting. It's quiet at first, almost imperceptible, but it's happening. They're growing, emotionally, learning to face feelings instead of running from them, mentally, learning to pause and think before reacting. In life, striving to become someone capable of showing up fully, someone worthy of the connection they once risked losing. Every part of them is being tested, reshaped, and refined. The catalyst? You. You didn't just capture their attention, you awakened something that refuses to be silenced. It's not just memory or longing. It's a fire that keeps returning, no matter how far they try to step away. Something inside keeps whispering. This mattered. Don't waste it again. You lit a spark in them that can't be ignored or replaced. They've learned the hard way that shortcuts never work. They tried clever moves before, trying to control the situation, trying to hide, trying to navigate the connection without truth. And it failed. The attempt to manipulate, to play games, to avoid vulnerability, it all left its mark. Guilt, shame, regret. They carry it quietly, a reminder that honesty is the only way forward. Sometimes it overwhelms them. The regret presses down so heavily they feel paralyzed, like moving forward is impossible. And yet, in the midst of that struggle, they're trying. Not just with words, but with action. They're cleaning up their energy, refining their mindset, learning how to truly be present. They're fighting for a second chance, not just with you, but with themselves, understanding that only the better version of who they are now can honor what they lost. And through it all, their feelings remain undiminished. You've become a constant pull in their life, a force that won't let them look away. It's no longer casual liking, it's longing, craving, a quiet obsession with becoming worthy of the connection they once let slip. They are drawn to you, moved by you, and propelled forward by the memory of what might have been, and what still could be. They've reached a turning point, one that wasn't there before. Before, their actions were careless, their choices muddled by fear, ego, and distraction. Now, something has shifted inside them. They want more than fleeting attention, more than half-hearted words. They want honesty, clarity, and presence. The kind of presence that respects what you truly mean to them. They're no longer willing to meet a sacred connection with anything less than their whole self. What's driving this change is awareness. They're realizing that love, trust, and closeness aren't games to be played. You can't hold something meaningful with immaturity or evasiveness. They see now that if they want you, truly want you, it requires action, effort, and integrity. It's about being steady, being reliable, being someone who can create a safe space where love doesn't get lost in chaos. They want to show up fully because the cost of repeating the past has become too heavy to bear. And yet, their awakening isn't just about them, it's about you. They notice the transformation in you. You've grown inwardly, building your own world of peace, confidence, and focus. You're no longer chasing validation or bending your energy to accommodate others' chaos. You've become self-sufficient, resilient, grounded, and it radiates. That strength changes the dynamic between you two. They feel it, they see it, and it awakens both awe and urgency. The realization that they cannot take you for granted ever again. This realization brings with it both longing and restraint. They want to approach, to speak, to bridge the gap. But they also know that timing, honesty, and respect matter more than impulse. Every thought, every potential step is carefully measured now. They're not moving recklessly as before. They're thinking about how to be worthy, how to approach you with integrity, how to offer something real instead of what they once offered. Confusion, hesitation, half-hearted attempts. And here's the deeper truth. The connection between you two has transformed. It's no longer a simple exchange of attention or feelings. It's a meeting of energies, a reflection of growth and respect. Your evolution has shifted the balance. You are rising, self-contained, resilient, and aware of your value. They are realizing what they almost lost, not because you were distant or lacking, but because they were unready. And now, their desire to correct the past is fueled by genuine growth, not desperation. This is what makes the energy so magnetic and tense. One person has matured and built inner strength, while the other is awakening to the cost of their past mistakes. There is longing, yes, but also a profound respect forming beneath it. The real question isn't whether they miss you. It's whether they can face the truth honestly, bring their growth into alignment with their desire, and step forward in a way that honors both of you. Because sometimes, the moment someone chooses themselves, it's also the moment another realizes what they almost lost. And the intensity of that recognition is impossible to ignore. They didn't see it coming, and neither did you. That quiet shift inside you, the way you stopped pouring yourself into people who couldn't meet you fully, it changed everything. You've become grounded, centered, emotionally self-sufficient. Your energy is no longer scattered or desperate. You've built a world inside yourself that doesn't depend on validation from anyone. And the effect on them? It's profound. For the first time, they feel the weight of distance in a way that scares them. This isn't just physical space. It's the invisible kind that grows when someone becomes whole on their own, the kind that can't be bridged by casual gestures or empty words. Every step you take away, every moment you hold your center, reminds them of what they almost lost. And that awareness sparks urgency, a deep, urgent pull they can no longer ignore. They've been watching you, quietly, almost obsessively. Every subtle change in your energy, every moment of silence, every glimpse of your self-possession, they notice it. And with every observation, the tension builds. Watching isn't enough anymore. Waiting feels unbearable. The hesitation that once kept them still now feels like a trap. Something inside them demands action. When they finally make a move, it won't be casual. It won't be uncertain. Everything they've held back, every regret, every longing, every unspoken truth, will come forward. The intensity of it will carry weight because they understand something essential now. You are irreplaceable. No one else can trigger what you trigger. No one else can hold the space you do. And the fear of losing you forever is stronger than the fear of rejection. But it isn't just about them. It's about you and the power you've quietly built. Your shift inward, your focus on your own growth, your refusal to bend or chase. That's what transformed the dynamic. You didn't change for them, and you didn't bend to their will. You simply aligned with yourself, and that alignment became irresistible. Your confidence, your peace, your self-respect, it became magnetic. It commands attention. It creates a force that can't be ignored. Now, the hesitation that once held them back is cracking. Desire has overtaken restraint. Every distraction, every attempt to fill the void elsewhere fails. You've become their focus, their fixation, their measure of what matters. And this isn't shallow longing, it's recognition. Recognition of someone rare, someone who cannot be replaced, someone who changed the game without ever knowing it. They crave you, your presence, your voice, your energy, your essence. But more than craving, they are awakening to the truth that they cannot afford to repeat the past. That to be with you, they must become the version of themselves worthy of you. And that realization burns hotter than any longing, drives more than any impulse, and shifts everything between you. This is the point of no return. They can't pretend indifference anymore, and you can't be taken for granted. The stage is set. The energy has shifted. And now, everything depends on who acts with courage first.